Hey guys, First Regardsman here, and so I'll be talking about an Occulus Bull Carbine Power Axe build for the Vanguard class in patch 10.2 of Space Marine 2. Now, the Occulus Bull Carbine does differ from the standard Bull Carbine that is far better at medium and long range. I do think the standard Bull Carbine automatic variant is better for boss killing and things like that, but this one's still quite good, and in patch 9.0, they did buff up the headshot multiplier of this to be a ×2, so the accuracy variant is currently the best in my opinion, and for the perk tree, I do pick up the perk of Great Might first. Damage increases by 10% against terminus level enemies. Moving here into the perk Retaliation, after a perfectly timed dodge, you deal 25% more damage for 10 seconds. 25% more damage for 10 seconds is a really chunky damage boost for a very long uptime, especially if you decide to take the perk over here, Hone Reactions. When your health is less than 50%, your perfect dodge window is doubled. This makes it incredibly easy to trigger this perk, so pretty strong synergy there. Next perk here is Perpetual Penetration. This really doesn't help a ton on most weapons, but on this one we only have a Piercing 1 as like a base, so it's actually pretty good here. Next perk is Fast Reload. Moving into the perk Finish or Reload. After a finisher, the equipped weapon instantly reloads. This is actually a super valuable perk. Being able to instantaneously reload your weapon upon an execution is kind of god tier at times. And the next perk here is Recoupment. Killing a Majoris level or higher enemy with a headshot with this weapon restores 1 armor segment. Cooldown is 15 seconds. Being able to restore armor off of a headshot long range is super valuable on a lot of guns in this game, but especially on the Occulus Bull Carbine, because once again, this is very strong at medium and long range, and having a scope makes this very easy to pull off. Next perk here is Rapid Health. When your health is below 30%, killing 7 enemies in a rapid succession restores health by 10%. This is a pretty good perk, not super valuable on the Vanguard if you're taking things like Unmatched Zeal or Adrenaline Rush, but either way, I would want some form of Rapid Health if I'm taking Inner Fire, and if you don't want to take this perk, you could just move down here instead and like skip over one of the other perks here later, but I decided to take it this way today. Next perk here is Divine Might. Damage increases by 10%. Going up here into the perk Headhunter for more headshot damage, and then I pick up the perk over here, Able Headshot. After using a class ability, headshot damage increases by 20% for 10 seconds, and the final ability we pick up is Increased Capacity. The maximum ammo reserve of this weapon increases by 20% because this weapon is not super ammo efficient, especially if you're playing by yourself, though in a team it's really not too bad. That's pretty much all there is for the primary weapon skill tree. Now for the secondary weapon, we do take a Heavy Bolt Pistol this time, because Heavy Bolt Pistol has the highest single gun strike damage in the entire game. And I just take the ammo reserve option here because having ammunition on the Vanguard is very useful because this class is not very ammo efficient. And for the perk tree, I just go down the bottom tree here, things like Divine Might. Moving here into the perk Death Strike. After killing a Majoris level or higher enemy in melee combat, you deal 25% more damage for 10 seconds. Now this perk will also trigger off an execute, which is quite useful. They do have to actually have your weapon equipped for it to actually work, so kind of unfortunate there, but just keep that in mind. And the final perks I grab are things like Able Damage. After using a class ability, damage increases by 20% for 10 seconds. You'll be grappling on this build all the time, so pretty useful. And the final perks I grab are the perks up here for Home Precision for better hipfire, and the perk Tactical Precision. Headshots deal 20% more damage, non-headshot damage decreases by 10%. Headshot damage is pretty much all that matters on any bolt weapon in Space Marine 2, so kind of a no-brainer. I will also mention, if you want to skip over Able Damage, you could just go up this tree for things like Discipline and the perk over here, Headhunter, which are also very strong. That is up to you. Now, for the melee weapon selection, I do take a balanced Power Axe because I like having more melee damage on my primary, and unfortunately, the Block Axe does not have access to Power Stance, and not having Power Stance on the Power Axe kind of feels terrible. It's like the most fun part about this weapon in my opinion, and Power Wave did get buffed, and that was like the major buff to this weapon in the first place, so losing out on that does kind of suck. I will say the fencing version is probably better for this build. I'll show a build for that in a second. But as far as the balanced weapon goes, I just build it all the way down the bottom tree for melee damage. I do skip over perks like Riposte. After performing a power backstep, hold attack to perform an overhead strike. I often find the overhead strike just misses enemies or only hits things like a Minoris form or stuff like that, so not super useful. I just build for the perpetual strength instead. Now, if you want to take the fencing version, I would just skip the bottom tree entirely and go down the top tree for things like Power Strike. Gun Strike from Power Stance deals 20% more damage. Now, you actually have to be in the actual Power Stance here, not the Power Wave to trigger this. Though there is a way to trigger this gun strike damage if you time it properly on top of your power waves. Just keep that in mind. It does take a little bit getting used to, and it's kind of hard to tell if it's actually working. There's an option for sure. Now, I will mention the best perk down here is Tactical Retreat. Power Backstep, it deals 25% more damage. So a pretty strong option here on the bottom row. I think it's like the main reason to take this row, if I'm being honest, on top of things like Hard Target. Though, if we're being real, the Power Axe pretty much has two build paths. You either take it all the way down the top row, or you go all the way down the bottom row. It's not a lot in between. So if you're taking fencing, just take the top row. If you're taking the balanced version or block fist, or excuse me, block Power Axe, just take the bottom row because melee damage is kind of what you're going for. And that's pretty much all there is for this weapon. Now for the perk tree here, I do take upper hand first. After a perfectly timed parry, block, or dodge, you do not lose control upon taking heavy hits, and you cannot be knocked back for 10 seconds. This is an incredibly powerful perk in this game. No knockback is simply amazing and will save your life. Though I will say the description here is a little bit wrong. A lot of the heavy hits in this game will still knock you over. Things like a Carnifex slap, things like a heavy hit from a Lictor will knock you back, but like light attacks and stuff like that from Sword Warriors will not. Just keep that in mind. Still super useful, still top tier for sure, and I still pretty much always take this. Next perk here is Conviction. When your armor is fully depleted, you take 25% less health damage for 10 seconds. This perk is incredible. 25% health damage reduction is simply godly in this game, and far better than things like close combat focus these days, which is 20% less range damage, because now versus Chaos even, you're still fighting things like Chaos Spawn that will melee you, so this perk is even better than ever. And the perk up here, Upper Hand, or excuse me, not Upper Hand, Duelist, Perfect Parry and Perfect Block window increases by 50%. Not really useful at all, because once you learn the actual parry timings, doesn't do a whole lot for you. Next perk here is Consecutive Execution, killing 7 enemies in rapid succession, charged by 1. Cooldown is 90 seconds. 90-second crack grenades, frag grenades, shock grenades, and melt-up-bombs are god tier. Anything that breaks the pickup economy of this game is going to be an S tier perk, period, and this is no different. And I will say the perk down here, Honed Reactions, when your health is less than 50%, your perfect dodge window is doubled. This perk is really good. It just has like a negative synergy with things like Unmasked Heal and Adrenaline Rush here, because if you heal over the 50% constantly, you're just not getting a ton of benefit out of this. So if you take Inner Fire, you can definitely take this one. We've taken this perk. I'd probably just go for Consecutive Execution. Now, for the team perk selection, I did take Inner Fire here. All of your squad members can restore abilities charged by 15% by performing finishers on Majora's level or higher enemies. Now, this team perk is actually incorrect in its description here. You can actually just kill any Majora's period, and you'll get that extra charge back. So really, really useful here. Though I will say, this perk is probably better because, once again, anything that breaks the pickup economy of stims and stuff like that is going to be a god tier perk, and this perk will make your game kind of a breeze. This perk's kind of broken. I'm surprised they haven't nerfed this yet, but maybe one day they will, but for now it is very, very strong. Next perk here is Restless Fortitude. After a diving kick, you take 40% less range damage for 10 seconds. 40% less range damage for 10 seconds is a super powerful damage reduction versus range attacks for a very long uptime. Though I will mention, if you do get an execute off of things like Tactical Prowess on your grapnel, it will not trigger Restless Fortitude. For Restless Fortitude to trigger, you have to grapnel to a guy and not kill them, so just keep that in mind. Next perk here is Zone of Impact. Performing a finisher with the grapnel launcher deals damage to nearby enemies. The AoE damage this dumps out is simply stupid. The Zone of Impact Tactical Prowess combo here is pretty much god tier since it came out in like patch 6 or patch 7, and the only other proper build path on this class here, in my opinion, would be like Tip of the Spear, like Adrenaline Rush, or you just take this anyways. That is up to you. Next perk here is Thrill of the Fight. After a perfectly timed parry, block, or dodge, you take 20% less health damage for 5 seconds. Having this perk and the perk down here, Conviction, is simply incredible for damage reduction, especially if you do take the perk Honed Reactions with Inner Fire here. It is very easy to pull off this perk constantly, and this is one of the only perks of the game that will reapply before the 5 seconds are up. So if you get like perfect dodges in a row, it is quite easy to keep triggering this. Same thing with parries and blocks, so really, really strong perk here. I will say though, if you want to take combat readiness for a 20% faster grapnel, this is also quite good, and the perk over here, Grim Determination, when grapnel launcher is in cooldown, weapon damage increases by 15%. It's not terrible, it just requires you to completely drain your grapnel. It's kind of a negative synergy with perks like Tactical Prowess, so just keep that in mind. Now, for the signature perk here, we do take Tactical Prowess. Grapnel Launcher can activate a finisher not only on incapacitated enemies, but also on those who have less than 33% health, except Terminus level, and performing a finisher with the Grapnel Launcher restores its charge. This perk simply makes your grapnel more valuable in general. I will say this is probably the best signature perk, period, especially with Zone of Impact currently. This is kind of like the Wombo combo of this build. It's pretty much been the meta for quite a while, just because it's the most overpowered combo on this class, period. The only thing holding back this combo here is just the buggy grapnel targeting and the buggy grapnel in general, because sometimes you will get that execute and not get your grapnel back and just do like a little AoE around you. It's really, really obnoxious, but you know, it's just one of the many bugs in Space Marine 2. Now, you could take Adrenaline Rush if you wanted to and Tip of the Spear, but I think this perk combo is far weaker, and honestly, this one I would only use with things like the Melta and Inferno Pistol. That is up to you as well, as wanted to mention it here. Now, for the prestige perks, I do take Battlefield Awareness first. If a target is within 8 meters, you deal 10% more range damage. Pretty self-explanatory, just a 10% range damage buff for doing what you do all the time in this class, which is going in the enemy's face. So pretty good here. Next perk here is Launch Restoration, using the grapnel launcher restores an armor segment. Really, any drip-fed armor restore in Space Marine 2 is incredible, but on this build, where I'm using Inner Fire on top of things like Restless Fortitude, getting an armor back off of our grapnel and also getting that 40% damage reduction versus range that also affects our armor is very strong, makes you very, very tanky, especially when combined with these two perks. So this is a god tier perk for sure. Next perk here, Restoration, killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores an armor segment. Cooldown is 15 seconds. Once again, drip-fed armor restore in Space Marine 2 is incredible because really all it is free damage reduction, and there are so many things that remove your control in Space Marine 2, like chain staggers and stuff like that, that having damage reduction is very important, so very strong option. And the final perk I grab is Fortitude. Health increases by 15%. No, health increases in Space Marine 2, once again, incredible, because as you get lower HP in Space Marine 2, you get a ramping base damage reduction. So if your base HP is higher, that damage reduction is worth even more, so really good here. Prevents you from getting damage nuked, especially on top of all these perks. But that's pretty much all there is to this build guide. The Occulus Bolt Carbine is a pretty strong weapon in this game ever since the accuracy version got buffed. Maybe one day they will realize that headshot multipliers are the single most important thing for bolt weapons in this game, but until then, this is the best version by far. And I also want to mention that headshot multipliers on the Chaos spawn are currently broken, so I wouldn't really use this weapon against Chaos. Like, obviously you can, it still works versus like Rubric Marines and stuff like that, but it's definitely like second fiddle to things like the Melter Rifle here and stuff like that. But that's up to you. If you like content like this, subscribe for more, and as always, thank you for watching. Bye. 5 hours to ruin my solo run. Husband and I have 3 girls, we play as soon as we gotta go to bed. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I actually have to lock in here for a second, maybe. Wow, that is the most annoying shit ever in this game. Robbed. I got robbed of my HP there by the fucking, Alright, that's not gonna pull through. I actually got fucking robbed of my HP. That is so goddamn annoying. The elevation on the staircase doesn't like to work with the parries for my Norris. That fucked me up for yard. Oh, ammo. We can buy this thing now. Could be a gun for this. I got 2 aspirants in training. That's a funny way to put it. That's a 35k, big dog. Thanks, Ryan. Nice of you to say. Oh, yeah. The port has been crazy. That's for sure. Life-changing, some might say. Some people being me. I read the codex to them at bedtime. That's horrible. You actually. There's some messed up stuff in there. Let's shoot this guy. And get the headshot multiplier on your all brain head. Yeah, I can't help but feel like a chainsaw would done it like 10 times faster.
That's no one for brothers. More numbers are more fodder. Stay there, brother. What needs grappling?
Oh, he felt that. Zoanthorpe will remember that. Parrying, killing Hordes faster than the axe does. Pretty much. This is a balance axe too, so and we're built for damage. So this is just the worst case. Or it should be the best case scenario for a parry weapon on this. So I block, you know? Alright.
Silence, Meridian, confirm possession of her quivering mass of computational gray matter.
It's such a parry stick. Y'all seeing this? Buff power axe. We'll get them all eventually. Dude, why are there so many minors? Alright, you just need to die. Free me from these. Alright, I'm going to the boss. It's time to blow this popsicle stand. That was whack. Very whack.
No turning back now. All these dead Tyranids are a welcome sight. A little more dust is no bother. We will be praying particulate from our ceramide for weeks.
Alright, this last boss fight might take forever, but we'll try. Oh, parry bug. Oh, Zoanthrope's this game. How much HP to get back? I wonder. Dude. The grapple targeting in this game sure is something.
Disappointing.
Literally the only enemy, only Majora's Threat in front of me.
What needs grappling? Into the fray. Hook available. Reloading.
Okay, so we got... Okay, Relic. Oh, we should be fine then.
My duty is eternal. So am I. Into the maw of death. Finish that bastard.
Japan is so fun. You'll have a great time. My friend's sister just got back from Japan and got me some
Arming up.
JJK stuff, souvenirs.
One down. Trillions to go.
Quite nice of them. Right.
I cannot land with that burrowing abomination lighting about.
Deep scans have penetrated the atmospheric disturbances and Matrian's meddling code. Trigon vulnerability data pushed to your displays.
Hear that, brothers? The Trigon dies, or we do. Its shell coating has weak spots. Shoot them!
Let's take more damage than I expected.
When it dies, we dodge! Feather unbound! Another Tyranid shot! Another mountain charge! Eradicate the vermin from the tunnels!
Oh, I'm actually... Oh, that was close. People with tier 1 sub gifted. Thank you very much, dude. Hold on. I will... Any properly once we're done killing the guy here. Ow. Right now it's actually taking a while because he's not actually too much damage reduction. Will the fight just be like that? There's gonna be ammo crate in this. It's been a long fight. Please don't do you. Alright, doing that now. Okay, we'll do this. No, you fuck. Okay. I'll kill him this way. I'm gonna kick him in the face.
Trigon kill confirmed.
Alright, that's a good ending. I'm satisfied with that.
Mission was a success.
Just kick him in the face with a diving kick. Ugh. Comical, comical. Alright, let's see the stat screen on that. I'm kind of curious because the Oculus definitely dispenses some range damage, but we'll have to see. That makes sense. 21 extremis is pretty high for that map.